welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amanda. Today I'm going to be doing Top 5 Wednesday, and today's topics is 5 books that you finally want to read in 2017. Now this doesn't include books that are going to be new releases in 2017. This is books that have been on your TBR shelf since 2015, 14, 13, 20, maybe even 2016, but for me, these books have been on my shelf for quite a while. So without further ado, let's get into it. And these are not in any particular order. It's not like, you know, this is the one I want to read the most or the least or whatever. These are books that I just really want to get to next year, and so let's get into it. Right? The first book that I would like to talk about is The Sea of Monsters. This is by Rick Riordan. And this is the second book in the Percy Jackson series. I have read the first one. I think I read it in 2014. I really liked it. And for whatever reason, I've just not continued on with the series. And since then, like, there's tons of Rick Riordan books that have came out since I acquired these ones, and they all sound fantastic, and I really love the first one, so I really want to get into this one at some point. And I mean, they're middle grade and they're small books, and I mean, the writing is, you can't tell by the camera, but the writing's pretty big, and it's not going to take me long to get through it, so I just need to pick it up and read it, and I know I'm going to enjoy it. I just need to make it a priority next year. The second book that I want to show you is The Final Empire. Hey guys, so this is actually the first book in the Mistborn trilogy that I'm holding here. What I meant to show you guys was the second book, which is The Well of Ascension. Something happens at the end of the first book that is devastating, and so that's why I didn't pick it up when I first finished the first book. But now it's like to the point where, although I'm still devastated by what happened, I really want to get back into this world again. And so many books that I've read lately have reminded me in ways of this world. And so I keep talking about it. So I'm going to put this out there in the world, and you guys are witnesses. I'm going to read this in 2017. Something I have also talked about a lot is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is the Penguin Drop Caps edition. I will not be reading this edition. I do have 3 or 4 other editions of this book, but I have never read it, which is quite a shame. Why am I collecting a book that I don't even know if I'm going to love? You know, but again, life of a book lover, right? So everybody knows what this is about. It's a classic. I have tons of classics on my shelf, and you know, many of them I want to get to in the next year or so. But this one is on the top of my list. I have listened to / read probably half of it, maybe a quarter of it, I'm not sure. And I liked it. I just never finished it, and there's no reason why. So again, I'm making myself accountable, and I will be reading this book in 2017. The next book that I would like to read in 2017 is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I bought this book, I think, in 2014, 2013 maybe, I don't remember. This is the movie cover edition, and I've heard great things about it. It's historical fiction. It's during World War II. It's narrated by death. Like, I know these things. I know I'm going to love it. I don't know why I have not picked it up. Like, just like with any of these books, I know I'm going to love them. They're on my shelf for a reason. And I just can't pick them up. Like, I just have not picked them up. And so, you know, this is one of those ones that I really want to read. So it is about a girl in World War II, in the World War II era, who steals books and gives them to people, I believe. Yeah, she steals books from Nazi book burnings. And then I'm assuming she's giving them to people, or she's hiding them so they're not burned. I'm not really sure. Either way, heard great things. Need to pick it up. I'm going to pick it up next year. And then the last book, and I've talked about this in quite a few of my videos now, is The White Queen by Philippa Gregory. I don't know if I'm going to start with this book or if I'm going to start with another one, but my goal is to read at least one of Philippa Gregory's books this year, because I have so many of them on my shelf and they're taking up so much room. So why? If I'm not going to read them, I need to get rid of them. So I'm making it a point to read one of her books this year, to see what I think, to see if I like it. I'm very intimidated by it. I'm not really sure why that is, but I need to pick this one up. So, you know, I have a good mix between historical fiction, fantasy, and classics that I want to read. And it was hard for me to come up with this list because there's so many books on my shelf that I want to read. And I think me like looking over my shelves trying to figure out what it is that I absolutely want to read next year makes me think that I need to stop going to the library. Like, I don't know if you guys can see like these books over here, but most of them are library books because I continue to check out books from the library, so I'm not buying them. But I think that next year I'm going to make it a point to make my TBRs out of books that I own already. And maybe I'll slip in 1 or 2 library books just so I can start reading the books that I own, because yes, I love books and I love collecting them, but I don't want them sitting on my shelf for years like some of these books, collecting dust, taking up space, if I'm never going to read them. And I think the longer a book sits on your shelf, the more apt you are to get rid of it. At least for me, I get tired of looking at them. I have like a box of books that I need to do an unhaul video for. I just haven't done it yet because I have another shelf that I want to go through before I do the unhaul. But some of those books I'm unhauling just because I've either tried to pick them up and I just am not into it at the time, or they've just been on my shelf taking up space and I have no interest in reading them anymore. And you know, yes, I do buy books cheap. Like, I buy them from my library book sale, or I buy them from Book Outlet. But I want to, you know, be more cognizant of the books that I'm buying, make sure that I am reading more diversely, and, you know, just, I don't want to buy books just to buy them. And to be honest, I have this huge collection, and I'm going to blame it on BookTube because I started watching BookTube about 3 years ago, and I gained an enormous collection before I started making videos of my own because I'd see people talk about them and see how excited they were, and I would buy them. And they're still sitting on my shelf years later. So, you know, I do have a book buying problem, and I don't want to continue to spend money on books that are just sitting on my shelf and not getting used when I'm using my local library. So if that's the case, then, you know, I need to just stop buying books and use my local library. But anyways, I'm rambling. Let me know down below what you guys, the 5 books, or, you know, what books that you absolutely want to read in 2017. And if you've made a, like I've said before, if you made a video, blog post, Instagram, whatever it is, link it down below so I can go check it out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.